So this is my friend Hudson, and Hudson is going to demonstrate his patience, the work he's done on building impulse control, while I set up a couple of enrichment opportunities for him. And enrichment simply refers to activities that enrich your dog's life. Most often, they're enriching for their mental and emotional health, but it could be anything, and most often, the benefits of the enrichment overlap a variety of areas of wellness. And so I'm going to show you just 3 examples of really cheap, easy ways that you can make some enrichment activities at home for your pup. No need to order anything fancy. You can use whatever you have lying around. And so the first example I'm going to show you so that we can get him started is the easiest one. Now this you can, good boy, you want to make sure you reward as you go along, right? So praising, rewarding. You can buy a pre-made soft puzzle toy. That's what these are. These are a couple of my favorite varieties. The milk and cookies, there's little cookies in there, there's fried chicken in here, and then these are from a different puzzle toy, but we're going to use them for our purpose today. Ultimately, you can use any soft toy that you have for your dog. You might just need to be a little bit more creative about how you turn it into a puzzle. And so, for example, my Penny Grace has a habit of disemboweling her soft toys. And so rather than get rid of them, because 1, they're expensive, and 2, sustainability is important. We don't want to waste things and just keep getting rid of toys and replacing them, right? And so instead, Hudson, sit, good boy. Instead, we reuse them as often as we can, and I stick a couple pieces of kibble or treats inside of those shells of former toys, and then stick them inside of each other, creating a makeshift puzzle. So that's one option. Hudson is not nearly so gnarly with his toys. He's quite gentle and delicate. And so this perfect gentleman, we're just gonna put those puzzle toys in there, those little pieces, and then we're gonna sprinkle a little bit of his kibble in there, as well as some higher incentive treats. Now, the reason for that is you wanna create what I like to call a slot machine reward system. This is particularly helpful if your dog is not super motivated to work for their kibble. This can help them get a little bit more motivated, because as they start to work at it, they realize that yes, there's boring old kibble in there, but there's also pieces of chicken or beef liver or lamb liver or something else delicious. And so because he's been so patient, we're going to give him this one to get started. Go ahead, be free. And so he can solve his little puzzle back there while I show you a couple more options for puzzles. This is another good example of a soft toy that we turned into a puzzle. It's a hot dog, right? And all I do is sprinkle some kibble in there, sprinkle some treats, stick that hot dog in there, and then let him have some fun with it. He has to work at pulling it out. So some soft puzzle toy options. Now the next one, if you have a dish towel, especially if you're like me and you do things like forget to take them off the burner, grab your dish towels, your raggedy towels, okay, lay them out, sprinkle a little bit of kibble. Hi, sir, hello. Hello, are you interested in what I'm doing? Wonderful. No rhyme or reason to how you're doing this, except for, again, you want to make it really exciting and engaging for them to get involved with the activity, right? Especially if they don't know the expectation at first or the reward that they will receive. And so an easy way to do that, in addition to adding those high incentive treats, which he's batting it around behind me now, you can strategically place those. So for example, I'm sprinkling chicken and kibble all throughout the towel, and then I'm folding it different ways. But as I get to the end of folding, I'm going to strategically place more pieces of chicken and high incentive snacks there, so that as he starts to unroll it, he gets really, really excited about the activity. This will encourage him, this will motivate him to keep on going, right? And all I'm doing, you can do this anyway. You can crumple it up, you can fold it up. All I did was roll it and then kind of tucked it in on itself. And so again, hello. Hello, sir. He's coming over to check it out. He's like, I know what you're doing here. And so I'm gonna stick those little pieces of chicken right on the outside of that towel, and then I'm gonna give it to him and tell him to go find. And so now he can go ahead and solve, let's see if we can see him better. Excellent. He can go solve that dish towel puzzle by unrolling it and finding all the pieces of yummy things we put in there. Now, the last one is what I call a puzzle made of recyclables. And anyone can do this. Again, sustainability, supporting the environment at the same time that we are enriching our dogs' lives. Take some recyclables that you were going to get rid of already. Think things that are easy to shred and not dangerous for the dog as they start to bite into them. So some things I would suggest advise against, any kind of plastic, Tupperware type things, plastic containers, metal, none of those things, okay? Think like paper bags. Sorry, buddy, that was scary. Think paper bags, tissue paper, newspaper, magazines, egg cartons, toilet paper tubes, any of those things can be repurposed into a puzzle. And the beautiful thing is most of those things are recyclable anyway. We can let our dog shred them, have some fun with them, pre-destroy them, if you will, and then put it in the recycling anyway. And so Hudson has never done this activity with me, so I'm gonna make it really, really easy. Because again, if they don't know the expectation, if they don't know the benefit, and we make it really hard, what's the motivation to keep working at it and figuring it out, right? At least at first, we want to set them up for success, make it easy, make it fun, make it engaging. And so all I'm taking is a single paper towel. I'm going to put a couple pieces of kibble in there. Oh, sorry, buddy. It just booped you on the nose. I'm going to put a couple pieces of chicken in there. And I'm going to crumple up that paper towel, similar to how we did with the dish towel, right? And then I'm going to put it inside of this brown paper bag. And I'm going to, again, put a couple more high incentive snacks in there, very, very small pieces. If you can't see this, so small. Your treats should be, not just because he's tiny, they should always be very, very small. Aim for the tip of your thumbnail is a good size. All we're doing is creating positive connections with what they're doing. Good try, buddy. Leave it. Good. The amount is not important, okay? And so we're gonna fold this now, again, first time, so we're gonna make it easy, right? We're gonna rip a couple of holes so he gets the gist of like, oh, that's acceptable and okay. And additionally, it now lets him sniff and know that there are treats in there, right? That there's something worth working at. So now take a look how easy I made this first one, okay? Big old gaping hole, lots of holes, because some dogs are gonna be scared of this. And so you wanna make it really, really easy, okay? Maybe even cut the bag in half, open it up, and let them pull out the paper towel the first time. This is how we started with Penny Grace, and now she uses the big brown paper bags, egg cartons, toilet paper tubes, you name it, she destroys it. So, let's see. Go ahead, Hudson. You may. I'm gonna angle it so you can see him figure it out, okay? Good boy, Hudson. Good boy. Good job. And this is exactly, you know, pretty close to how it will go with your own dog mostly. Granted, Hudson has done a lot of work on confidence, so he's doing really good with this, really brave, good boy. But one way you can help encourage your dog is similarly to how I'm doing, praise them, encourage them, tell them they're doing a nice job. If they get scared or back up at any point, just go back calmly, quietly, and show them what to do, right? So if he started backing off, for example, I'd go in there and just little gentle tear, show it to him, show there's an option to do exactly what he's doing. Look at him go. Best boy. Hudson is a Cavapoo. And so you want to consider your dog's genetic makeup, the major breeds that they're made of when you're considering enrichment and how best to support them. For a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel and a Poodle mix, some enrichment options that would really benefit him are sniffy things, anything that requires rooting around, sniffing, working at things. He's really good at problem solving, at pattern spotting, and at shredding and destroying. So, all good options for my friend Hudson, and probably good for your furry friends as well. Look at him go. Now you do want to make sure anything you do with your dog, especially a new enrichment activity, a new toy, a new chew, etc., you always supervise your dog, especially for the first several times, because you want to make sure they're not at risk of eating and ingesting anything that's not safe. If you have a dog who's prone to shredding and then eating things, you can do this same exact activity with lettuce or cabbage or any other kind of greens. And the way that we do that and make it exciting for them is you take that head of lettuce, of course, wash it. Pesticides are a really real concern in our society. And so soak your produce in water with a little bit of baking soda and apple cider vinegar for 10 to 15 minutes. That'll get most of the stuff off. Rinse it really, really well. And then stab that head of lettuce a few times. Wedge some high incentive treats down in there. Maybe fold them amongst the leaves. And then go ahead and give it to your pup and tell them to go find. And now if they ingest a little bit of that lettuce or cabbage or what have you, they're getting added nutrition in addition to their enrichment activity. So, you over it? Look how tired we are now because that takes a lot of brain power. And for most beings, yeah, mental work is a lot more tiring than physical work. Yes, sir. Alrighty. Thanks for learning along with Hudson and I. Go try out those enrichment activities with your dog. Let us know what's your pup's favorite. And no, there's so much flexibility. There's so many options of what you can do. Oh, to make this life the best life ever for your four-legged friend, huh? We are 100% responsible for their experience in this world. And so might as well make it fun and enriching and engaging. Right, Hudson? Yeah, he's like, I'm